Yes guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the updated tier list for Dragon Ball Legends. Now there are 6 new units that have been added into this tier list, 2 of them being Zenkais, 1 legendary finish unit and 3 regular Sparkings. That legendary finish unit is of course Rosé, the 2 Sparkings are Super 17 and the Purple Broly, and then the normal banner units that we have are Trunks and Mai, the Revival Goku and the new Purple Hit. So without further ado, let's get into this video and let's talk about where these characters are on this tier list.
This is Super Saiyan Rosé Goku Black.
This is it, Satan. For the sake of our most glorious project, you will die today!
We'll start off first with the Trunks and Mai, who are, the furthest down of the new units on this tier list. They are still in S+ tier, which is a very solid position, very good unit, and they are just fantastic with a great green card, great damage output, and overall a very good unit. If you don't have the red cell, they will be the best red on Future by a mile. I wouldn't quite say Vegeta family is at the level where they would be competitive in a high rank PvP situation, but Future definitely is, and if you don't like the red cell or you don't have him at high stars, this Trunks and Mai unit is the way to go. A bit higher up we have the Revival Super Saiyan Blue Goku, who is sandwiched between the Jiren and the Zenkai 16, and he is a very good character who, like the Trunks and Mai, has a very good green card, not quite as good, but the fact that it's a knockback green card similar to UI Goku makes it so that it's a very good one in PvP. Really annoying to come up against because as soon as you vanish past the unit you can use that and you get a free combo. Very good. He also has of course the Revival mechanic, which is really good in high rank PvP. It just allows you to throw him in front of a Rising Rush, eat that up, and then of course you can just come back at 50% HP, but then he does have a health restoration, and alongside Vardos it's very good because you can just heal up even more. So overall a very good unit. Doesn't quite replace the Zenkai Goku Blue on God Key, but he is a very good option, and he's a very different option. So if you do want to use something different, he is a great option both on Saiyans and on God Key. Very good, and you can of course Zenkai buff him with a few different units such as the Goku Blue, the Zenkai Namek Goku, and the Zenkai Super Saiyan Bardock. A bit further up, and this pains me to say it, we have the LF Rosé, who isn't as good as the UI Goku or the Purple Vegeta on Future or the DKP on Powerful Opponent, but he is still a very good unit, and you can shoehorn him in if you do have fun using him like I do. He does have a lot of special features like the AoE massive damage type neutral blue card, also his extreme bleed, and the fact that he does have endurance nullification with everything that he does. That is very good, very useful in a lot of situations, and it can save you in a lot of matches, such as when you come up against Topo for example, or the LF Future Gohan. Very useful stuff that do come in handy, and he's a very good unit. Not quite up in the Z tier, but he is in a good place in the S+ tier. Definitely a very viable unit and a very fun one to use. And the last new unit we have before we get into the Zenkais that have been released this past month, we have the new Hit, and this guy is phenomenal. Very good damage. He can literally one-shot anyone that's not a yellow unit if you do stack his buffs and vanish with him and use his green card correctly. He's very good. He's so good. Quite situational, but it's very easy to stack those buffs up, and he is just so nice to use because he does restore vanish with his blue card, which does loads of damage, and the only reason he's not in Z tier is because he isn't quite tanky enough to be at that level, and of course he doesn't have the strongest of teams right now. Rival Universe is good, but it's not as good as let's say a Regen or an Android's team, so that's why he isn't quite in the Z tier, but he could definitely move up there if if that team does get a few more buffs in the future. So we'll have to wait and see, but right now he's sitting second in S+ tier, so very high. So now let's get into the Zenkais, and the first one we're going to talk about is the Purple Broly. Now this guy is sitting between the LF Kid Buu and the Topo, and he is very good. He of course gets those crit buffs from the Bardock, which is very good for a Super Saiyan unit, and it makes every Super Saiyan unit just a lot better than they actually are on paper. And this guy is phenomenal because he can nullify type disadvantage up to 4 times in a fight. That's twice before transforming and twice after transforming. Not just that, but he heals a lot with his main ability, which transforms him as well. He has a very strong ultimate that can feint, and he of course has loads of HP, which makes him really hard to take out. And next up we have the Super 17, who is just phenomenal. I am an Androids main alongside, Future. Those are my two favorite teams, but I've always been a big fan of Androids, and this guy's just tipped them over the edge for me. Like, this guy is just phenomenal. I could make a full video talking about this guy. He's really good. He's so annoying. He's the most annoying unit to face in PvP. He reduces the enemy ki, he takes away their cards, he increases their cost. He's just so good, and now he stacks loads of buffs, which is something that he didn't do before his Zenkai. Now he reduces his arts cost, he heals more, he increases his damage more, and he just does loads of damage when you stack his buffs up. And on top of that, he's really tanky, and he can eat every blast card, every blue card, and every tap shot. So overall, just a phenomenal unit, very annoying, and he is covered by the second best unit in the game, Android 18. So that's it in terms of the units that have been added in the last month in the game, apart from the ultra rarity Goku, who will be added in the next tier list breakdown, but for now we decided to keep him out just because we wanted to keep it as accurate as possible, and since we haven't been able to use him at his max potential, we just decided to leave him out for this one. So now let's talk about the units that have been moved up and down on this tier list. And first off, we have the Zenkai Namek Goku moving from Z tier to Z plus tier. And the reason for that is because in good hands he is phenomenal. Has one of the best, if not the best, blue cards in the game if you do pull it off with the counter. And he's just phenomenal, especially with the introduction of the Angel Vegeta now on Saiyans. He's just really good, and he gets that extra buff from the Angel Vegeta, which is much appreciated. And the same thing goes for the Zenkai Super Saiyan 3 LF Goku. I think the trio of the Angel Vegeta, the Zenkai LF Super Saiyan 3, and the Zenkai Namek Goku is one of the strongest trios in the game right now, and this Zenkai Super Saiyan 3 is fantastic. He does so much damage, he has a cover rescue of course, and one of the strongest ultimates in the game, so that's why he is in the top of Z tier. He was down where Fat Boo was roughly, and he's moved all the way up to the top of Z tier. And the Blue Goku, the Zenkai Blue Goku, has moved down. He hasn't quite kept his place towards the top of Z tier. Same thing goes for the Blue 21, and the reason for that is just because of how good the green Zenkais have been recently. Of course, the Super Saiyan 3 LF Goku, the Super 17, and the Fat Boo, and those three are just really good and really annoying to face in PvP, so blue units are suffering a little bit on that front. We also have the green 21 moving down to the third place in S plus tier. She was in Z tier, and the same thing goes for Kid Buu. He was also in the Z tier, and he's been moved down to the S plus tier. Vardos has moved up from about mid in the S plus tier to the top of S plus tier just because of how essential she is on God Key, Rival Universe, and of course the females team. She's just phenomenal, the best support unit in the game. We also have the green Zenkai Broly moving up. He was at the bottom of S plus tier, and he's moved all the way up to mid S plus tier roughly. The LOE Zenkais have moved down to the bottom of S plus tier, apart from the Yellow Frieza, who's moved down all the way to S tier. Just LOE isn't getting much love right now, like they're really not that good. And we do have Bergamo moving up a lot. He was sitting around where Launch is right now, and he's moved up quite a lot. He's a very underrated unit, a very good unit, and a lot of people really do sleep on him. In my opinion, he is the most underrated sparking in the game. And apart from that, we do have the yellow Broly has moved down to S tier. Same thing with the free-to-play Buhan. And other than that, the tiers haven't really changed too much. Just a few minor changes here and there. Obviously, we do one of these videos every month, so there are going to be a few changes. Units moving up and down depending on the current meta. And a unit that has actually gone up quite a bit is Kefla, just because of how annoying she still is. You know, the card draw speed and the blast armor still very annoying to this day, as well as the feint on that ultimate. But that is pretty much it for this video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash a like and comment down below what changes you would make to this tier list. I'm really interested to know because, of course, there are a few new units and I want to know what you guys think about them and if you guys agree with this tier list or not. So like I said, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you smash a like, subscribe if you are new around here for more Dragon Ball Legends content, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.